Get the most out of cool AI tools like ChatGPT, GPT-4, Bard, Gemini, all of them. Today I want to talk about a neat trick you might not have heard of using a generative AI to generate prompts for you. It sounds strange at first, but it makes a lot of sense. Think about it. These AIs are super smart and can answer all sorts of questions. So why not let them help you think of new prompts? I'll also show you some examples with ChatGPT to see how it works in action. Let's get started. One of the toughest things about using generative AIs is figuring out what prompts to give them, right? A lot of people think it's a walk in the park, but it's not that easy. If you just throw out the first thing that pops into your head, chances are the prompt won't be great. It might be hard to understand, too vague, or even have mistakes. There are loads of ways it could go wrong. And crafting good prompts, well, that's a skill in itself. It takes time to learn. It's not just about tossing out any old word. But here's the good news. Generative AI can help us with this. We could ask it some broad questions to learn more about prompting, send it our prompt drafts for feedback, or even ask it to write prompts for us directly. But why is it so crucial to have good prompts? Well, if you've been around the AI world for a while, you'll recognize that the key to getting the most out of generative AIs like ChatGPT lies in how we ask our questions. Prompts are the foundation of it all. If we mess them up, the conversation can go off track, and we might not learn anything. For instance, if we use distracting words or ask for overly specific data, the AI gets confused. Or if we're not clear about what we want, it might just give an old response. On the other hand, well-crafted prompts empower the AI. They tell it what the topic is and guide it to provide useful answers. You could sum it up in my golden rule. The success or failure of using generative AI can hinge entirely on the prompt you provide. So, how can we use the AI itself to generate prompts for us? Here are a few strategies to keep in mind. First off, we can always directly ask the machine how to create good prompts. It will give us some general advice, and then we can dive deeper into topics that interest us. So after you've written down a prompt yourself, the next thing to do when using generative AI for prompting is to ask the AI to check it out. This check usually involves comparing your prompt to some standard criteria, like whether it's clear, detailed enough, and so on. Then you can tweak your draft based on the feedback. But you can even go a step further and ask it to directly write prompts for you. All you have to do is describe what you want to achieve, and that's it. Be specific. Once you see what the draft consists of, you can easily either fine-tune it to your tailored needs or ask the AI to do so. Now, when you send in a prompt for the AI to work on, once you get a response, you can ask the generative AI to review the prompt. Chances are the review will point out ways the prompt could have been clearer. This helps you figure out how to phrase your prompts better. Plus, you can take the advice on board and tweak the prompt, giving it another shot. Once you've received the generative AI drafted prompt, you can proceed to have the generative AI execute the prompt. You can also ask the generative AI to evaluate a series of prompts that you've crafted and used, aiming to see what prompting patterns of improvement might be discovered by the AI in your prompting style and strategy. Now let's put this into action. We're going to try it out with ChatGPT. It's one of the most popular apps out there, with an estimated 100 million people using it every week. But before we begin, if you're going to use the same prompts as me, remember that the results might vary a bit. That's just how these artificial intelligence work. Even the same prompt might not give the same results the next day. AIs are constantly evolving with new updates. Got it? All right. So, my first step is going to be asking, what makes a good prompt? This will kick things off. ChatGPT generated response. A good prompt in generative AI is crucial for guiding the model to produce relevant and coherent outputs. Here are some characteristics of a good prompt. A good prompt in generative AI should be clear, specific, and relevant to the desired output. It should provide context examples, if applicable, and any constraints. Engagement, adaptability, and ethical considerations are also important factors to consider. In essence, a good prompt serves as a roadmap for guiding the AI model to produce relevant and high-quality output. This seems like a very helpful explanation. What's clear is that behind this, there's training with large amounts of data related to prompting. Now, I'll send a prompt that I purposely made vague and ambiguous. The challenge will be to see if the AI picks up on it. Here we go. My entered prompt: I want to find out about the life of Lincoln. My prompt will be this: tell me about Lincoln. Critique that prompt and let me know what you think of how the prompt is composed. ChatGPT generated prompt. The prompt, tell me about Lincoln, is quite vague and lacks specificity. While it does provide a general direction by asking for information about Abraham Lincoln, it doesn't provide any context or guidance on what aspects of Lincoln's life or accomplishments the AI should focus on. To improve the prompt, consider adding more specific details or questions, such as, please provide a summary of Abraham Lincoln's early life and political career. Describe Abraham Lincoln's role during the Civil War and his impact on American history. Discuss Abraham Lincoln's contributions to abolishing slavery in the United States. Explain the significance of Abraham Lincoln's presidency and his leadership style. By providing more specific prompts, you can guide the AI to generate more relevant and informative responses about Abraham Lincoln's life and legacy. The feedback we got about my initial prompt was very helpful. There was a lot of room for improvement, from including the full name to being more focused, and it's right. So, now let's put the AI to the test. We'll ask it to directly improve my prompt and see the result. My entered prompt: go ahead and refine my draft prompt and reword it so that I can find out about Lincoln's life when he was a practicing lawyer. Show me the prompt that you have devised. ChatGPT generated prompt. Here is an improved prompt. Can you provide insight into Abraham Lincoln's life during his career as a practicing lawyer? Did you see what it did there? When I asked ChatGPT to improve my prompt, I also mentioned my interest in Abraham Lincoln. Without that extra context, it would have been tough for the AI to know how to make the question better. And that brings up a crucial point. Generative AIs can't read minds. We've got to be clear about what we want to explore. Vague phrases like, tell me, won't help. We need to be specific. So I'm sold on the prompt ChatGPT suggested. I'll just ask it to use it directly. My entered prompt. Proceed to use that devised prompt and respond to the prompt. ChatGPT generated response. Abraham Lincoln began his career as a practicing lawyer in the early 1830s in Springfield, Illinois. Despite lacking formal education in law, Lincoln possessed a keen intellect and a strong sense of justice, which propelled him into the legal profession. His reputation for honesty and integrity quickly earned him respect among his peers and clients. Throughout his legal career, Lincoln continued to advocate for social and political causes, including the abolition of slavery. His experiences as a lawyer profoundly influenced his approach to governance and shaped his presidency during one of the most tumultuous periods in American history. The response was just what I hoped for. My idea came through clearly, but let's be real. Do you think that prompt was a solid 10? So now we're going to test ChatGPT again. We'll ask it to give the prompt another look and see if it can make it even better. It's always good to double check, especially when we can get some help from an AI. My entered prompt: was there anything about the devised prompt that could still be improved? Tell me what improvements might be made to the prompt and explain why the improvements are worthwhile. ChatGPT generated response. While the devised prompt, can you provide insight into Abraham Lincoln's life during his career as a practicing lawyer, is more specific than the original prompt, it could still benefit from further refinement to guide the AI more effectively. Here are some improvements. Specify the time frame. Adding a time frame to the prompt could help narrow down the focus to a particular period of Lincoln's legal career. For example, can you provide insight into Abraham Lincoln's life during his early years as a practicing lawyer in Springfield, Illinois? This helps the AI understand which phase of Lincoln's legal career to focus on, as his experiences and impact may have varied over time. Clarify the aspect of Lincoln's legal career. The prompt could be clearer about the aspect of Lincoln's legal career the user is interested in. For instance, if the user wants to know about Lincoln's notable cases, it could be phrased as, can you provide insight into some of the notable cases Abraham Lincoln handled during his career as a practicing lawyer. This guides the AI to emphasize Lincoln's legal work rather than broader aspects of his life during that time. Include specific areas of interest. If the user has particular areas of interest within Lincoln's legal career, those could be mentioned in the prompt. For example, can you provide insight into Abraham Lincoln's approach to defending clients in criminal cases during his career as a practicing lawyer? This prompts the AI to focus specifically on Lincoln's legal strategies in criminal defense cases. By incorporating these improvements, the prompt becomes more targeted and precise, helping the AI generate responses that align more closely with the user's interests and expectations regarding Abraham Lincoln's life as a practicing lawyer. Its points were pretty clear. It's true, the AI wouldn't have a clue where we're going with the conversation unless we give it some direction. Now, you might be thinking, if I have to give hints anyway, why not just write the prompt myself? Seems like extra work, right? But it's not that simple. Writing a good prompt means understanding how AIs interpret sentences. Sure, they'll understand any wording, but using prompting techniques can get us more precise and effective responses. The cool thing about AI is we can describe our idea and it will come up with the right prompt. It's not extra effort. It's like going to a new restaurant and letting the waiter pick your meal instead of guessing. It's the safe way. But here's the deal. While using AI seems practical, there are reasons not to rely on it 100%. See, we'll ask ChatGPT about that. My entered prompt. Can I have you always write my prompts for me? ChatGPT generated response. While I'm here to assist you with writing prompts and providing guidance, you need to develop your ability to craft effective prompts. Writing prompts allow you to express your specific interests, questions, or goals, which helps tailor the AI's responses to your needs more accurately. However, if you need assistance or guidance in formulating prompts, feel free to ask. I'm here to help refine your prompts and ensure they are clear, specific, and effective in guiding the AI to generate the desired content. That makes a lot of sense. If you use generative AIs often, it's worth getting good at prompting. It will be useful in the long run. But if you're just an occasional user or trying it out once, letting the machine do all the work isn't a bad idea either. It's like letting the waiter pick your meal at a restaurant you won't visit again. Before we finish up, I'll ask ChatGPT one last thing. I want to know what kind of prompts we should steer clear of when making them ourselves. I think we already know that super vague prompts won't help, and ones that don't make sense grammatically won't get us anywhere either. But what else? So here's what I asked. ChatGPT generated response. Certainly, badly written prompts often lack clarity, specificity, or coherence, making it challenging for the AI to generate relevant and meaningful responses. Here are some examples. Vague prompt. Tell me stuff. This prompt is too vague and doesn't provide any direction or context for the AI to generate a coherent response. It's unclear what stuff the user is interested in, making it difficult for the AI to understand the user's intent. Ambiguous prompt. What's the deal with it? This prompt is ambiguous and lacks specificity. It's unclear what it refers to, leaving the AI to guess the topic or context of the user's query. Unclear prompt. Do the thing. This prompt is ambiguous and lacks clarity. It doesn't specify what the thing is, making it difficult for the AI to understand what action or information the user is requesting. Incomplete prompt. Lincoln. This prompt is incomplete and lacks context. It only consists of a single word, Lincoln, without providing any additional information or guidance for the AI to generate a response. Contradictory prompt. Tell me everything in one sentence. This prompt is contradictory as it asks for everything but limits the response to one sentence. It sets unrealistic expectations and makes it impossible for the AI to fulfill the rest adequately. In summary, badly written prompts often suffer from vagueness, ambiguity, lack of clarity, incompleteness, or contradictions, making it challenging for the AI to generate relevant and coherent responses. And you know what? Those prompt tips make complete sense. Since we were kids, we've been taught to communicate clearly, avoiding vagueness, ambiguity, and other mistakes. Maybe we've forgotten because we think a machine can read our minds. But that's not the case. And those are indeed just the basics. There are many other prompting techniques and strategies that you can't figure out on your own. Specific learning is needed. Conclusion. Benjamin Franklin famously said, "The best investment is in the tools of one's trade." And if you're thinking about using generative AI regularly, it's essential to get the hang of prompting technique. Now, this one, it's kind of like Inception, you know? We use AI to come up with questions and then feed them back into it. Simple and effective. What's better than that? I hope you liked this video and picked up something useful. If you got any questions, just drop them in the comment. See you next time.